Om Shri Sai Ram. Invoking the blessings of Almighty, we shall begin the session with Sahana Vavatu. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sah Viryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Respected elders, teachers, and my dear brothers and sisters, good afternoon and welcome to today's Words of Wisdom session. This platform offers students a unique opportunity to broaden their horizons and gain invaluable knowledge through interactions with speakers from diverse fields and industries. Today, we are honored to have Dr. Lieutenant Colonel Prasad SN, Director of the Sri Dharmasthala Manjunatheshwara Institute for Management Development, Mysore. Dr. Prasad has been an academic in business management higher education since 2009, teaching human resource management, performance management, production planning, and business strategy with innovative methods at Manjunatheshwara Institute, Mysore and programs ASBSP, European Foundation for Management Development, and now on the path for association to advanced collegiate schools of business. And now he has elevated as the director of Manjunatheshwara Institute in 2023. His qualifications include bachelor's in mechanical engineer, master's in automobile engineering, PGDM, and PhD. Prior to his academic career, he was an Indian Army officer for 20 years in the Corps of Electronics and Mechanical Engineering and the Army Aviation Corps as an aeronautical engineer. He has been awarded with the Chief of Army Staff Commendation Medal for a crucial innovation on snowmobiles at the Siachen Glacier while commanding an army unit in 2000. He has participated in the Kargil operations in 1999 and counter-insurgency operations in 2000. He has also headed teams in mission for retrieving stranded helicopters and as well in air accident investigations. In the last 4 years of his army services, he was in charge of the technical staff course for MSc Military Technology at the Defense Institute of Advanced Technology, Pune. He has commanded army units in the high altitude Himalayan areas in Ladakh as well as in the Thar Desert of Rajasthan. Currently, his focus is on the overall impact of international accreditation on the long term strategy of Manjunatheshwara Institute to make a difference by enhancing quality of management education. His current focus is on effectively using Gen AI tools for quality enhancement in teaching and learning. He keeps himself updated on international relations, military and corporate strategy, classical studies, macroeconomics, technology, and higher education. At the personal level, Dr. Prasad believes in the strength of character of a person as the foundation for life and in developing mental toughness as the core and physical toughness as the enabler. He has helped several individuals to achieve their goals by discovering their own strength. Today, Dr. Prasad will be addressing on the topic importance of developing personal values and quality consciousness. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Miss Vinila. Thank you so much for introducing me. And namaskar to all the students and the faculty and the decision makers of the Sathya Sai University who are gathered in this for this online meeting. It is my privilege that I am being given the opportunity to speak with you all, meet you all here and discuss a few things here. And I consider it a great opportunity to meet new people as well as meet young students. So I thank Ms. Rupa Murthy as well as Dr. Chidambar for contacting me in this regard, and I'm grateful to them. Uh, you see, the topic I've given is how I'm going to conduct this topic in the next 45 minutes or so. I'd like to mention briefly Firstly, both the topics, that is developing a personal value system and quality consciousness, have a lot of literature, research papers, everything written about. I am not going to go into the technicalities of or the teaching style of lecturing, going into frameworks, models, or research, or anything like that. I will bring this topic as related to my own experiences so that you can relate to it too by your own experiences in your life. This I am mentioning basically to the students. They're all young minds. Most of them must be staying in residential accommodations, and they'll be most of them will be separated from their families, living alone. Some of them will be scared. Some of them will be stressed because there may be students, other students who are not so well behaved with them. All these things will be there in all the colleges and hostels and all that. These are all normal realities of life. We should never say that all these things are completely wrong. These are all to be expected when a crowd of people get together. When elderly people who are highly educated, they all get together, still they quarrel. So what else can you cannot expect all students to be completely in peace. And I am an admirer of the Sathya Sai University's work and their ethos in carrying out the great work you are doing in the rural areas, and also in the tier 3 and tier 2, tier 3 and other places, in semi-urban places, and the kind of life and ethics you are imparting. So that is why I consider this an opportunity to meet you all. Now, coming to the topic, you know, developing a personal value system. When I mention personal value is, of course, limited to your brain. So all the students may be thinking that what is this personal value? In your school, you conduct prayer in the morning. Prayer is praying to the God to open the path for the day, to make your day a happy day without stress, without worries. The same way, in any place where you go, everything is an organization. That means everywhere there is an organization. When you are born into a family. Family is also a small organization. And then afterwards, when you go to the school is an organization, a class is an organization, and a group of schools are a university is an organization, the society is an organization. You need to interact with people. So at that time, what happens? This is how the society is built. When this society is group of individuals whose, in addition to leading their own life, they will be having common goals. Like, for example, if one person wants to see being keeping your surroundings clean may be related to your value system. Like, you do not want to make filth of the surroundings and trouble others. So by you are doing the work of keeping your area clean, which is part of the common area, you are helping others. So if everybody follows the same thing, the whole place will be clean. So any kind of value system, firstly, I'd like to define what is a value. Value is a sort of self-imposed responsibility and role where you ensure that you are being a human being, which is the most evolved of all the living animals beings, is shown. Dogs fight, dogs bite each other. It's assumed that true humans do not do like that, except in the arena of a boxing ring or sports where it is meant to show their physical strength. In normal times, people don't behave like dogs. If dogs bark at each other, do we call it abnormal? But people bark at each other and bite each other, we call it abnormal. So, being civil and being calm is a value system that everybody adopts. That means don't get stressed, don't put stress on others. Being honest is a value, and being ethical, like for example, not taking a bribe, not being corrupt, being sincere to the organization. But if there is something going on, wrong is going on in the organization, to show it is also part of the value system. So, integrity is one of the primary values. What constitutes integrity? Being true to yourself is integrity. That is, whatever you are doing alone is almost or equal, completely equal to the whatever you can do in a group. That means you secretly do not cheat anybody who is not available there. So these are all value system. As we go on, I'll give more examples so that you can make out. How do you develop a value system? That is, how values come to any individual. By now, many of the students may be feeling that it is a what you call, it is turning out to be a very boring session. I'll give an example. In this was in 1991. I entered my first army in 1990. I entered my first army unit. This was in uh, Tuting, a place in Arunachal Pradesh, which is very close to the Chinese border. And you know how we went there? I traveled from Mysore by train. It was raining heavily everywhere, to a place called Rangia, which is located 50 kilometers before uh, Guwahati in Assam. And then we got down there, and there is a transit camp of the army at Rangia. And then it was raining very heavily. All the rivers in the northeast were in spate. And in that, after 3 days, when the roads were cleared, we traveled by a truck to a place called Lekabali. And from Lekabali, again, next morning, 5 o'clock, we all got up. By then, the unit in which I was posted, 7 J&K rifles, where I have to reach. So they had a small detachment, a small group of men who were about to join back the unit from leave. I am supposed to, as a young officer, just commissioned from the Indian Military Academy, I am supposed to lead them. They were all much older than me, more experienced. I was physically very fit because I had just come out from the Indian Military Academy training. So we all signed for our rifles, and we all took it. And another vehicle started. And if you look at the map, we reached a place called Yingkiang. And this Yingkiang is located on the banks high up in Arunachal Pradesh, which on the banks of the Siang River, which later, as it flows down to Assam, becomes the Brahmaputra River. So from Yingkiang, can you imagine? It was raining very heavily. For 6 days, we walked in the dense rainforests of Arunachal Pradesh. And it was all through slush, mud, and swamps, lot of leeches sticking into our skin. And in the evening, we used to stay in tribal huts in tribal villages. Mishmi, Pesho, and all these tribals are there. Now I'll tell you a little about value system. So when we started, uh, first day we walked only 18 kilometers. We started at around 12 o'clock in the afternoon, because otherwise it was raining very heavily. Then it just gave a brief gap. So we started, and the path went on becoming steeper, steeper, and steeper. And when we reached a village, so what happened that the village Buddha is a tribal with a big headdress and all. He welcomed us. He welcomed, and they offer their homemade liquor to us. It's a sort of respect. We have to drink it. I didn't know. So first I refused. I said, I don't drink. So then my soldier who was with me, a JCO, one Naru Ram was there. He told me, Saab, you cannot do that. If you refuse, they'll think that you are disrespecting them. You see, disrespecting a drink given is related to their value in their tribe. So I had to drink. I sipped a little, kept it back. They filled it back. And then I thought that they'll keep on filling, then I'll get drunk. I don't want to get drunk. So I asked him what I have to do now. You know, the cup, it's made out of bamboo. So he told me to show that you no longer want drink, you have to completely drink it in one gulp and keep it back, then they don't fill it. So I did that and it was burning all through. It is some kind of desi liquor type. So I finished it and then came back. So then afterwards, in the morning again, we started 5:30, and because it sun rises in northeast at around 4:35, so we started. So we had a good dinner there, and then we started in the morning. And when we started, what happened was that I was the youngest among the lot. I was just 23 and a half year old, and rest everybody was above 26, 27, 30, like that. And that JCO Naruram was about 48 years. So I was physically fit. So when going, suddenly one small group came from Assam Rifles. That is, there another group. Assam Rifles is a paramilitary force. Their detachment was also going there. Their commandant has sent a request letter to me saying that you are taking this column. Please, yeah, please allow my five soldiers to join your column and go to the place where you are going because they need a leader. So they will join. So what happened was that the soldiers from 7 Jack Rifles, which was my unit, were very, very fit. These Assam Rifles unit, though they were very big and very hefty and well built, they could not climb many places. Many places the climbing was not like move from one level to another. Steep places, vertical places, they had just put one bamboo with small cuts, and you have to balance with both your hands. Your back is fully loaded, and you're carrying a rifle with bullets, everything. So what happened? Two of them fell, and they couldn't carry on anymore. So people were worried what to do. So then I told one of them, "You give me your bag." I started carrying double bags, double bag, two rifles to help one of them who was much taller than me, 6.5 feet, very, very fat, a very big, huge fellow. But he could not move with all those load. He was unfit. So then by evening, though I was a new person, that morning only all the soldiers had met me at 5:30 when we started at other than these Assam Rifle soldiers. And previous day, my own soldiers I had met. I was very, very new. They don't know me. And my Hindi was very, very funny for them. And so we started walking. Then normally what happens is that in such a scenario where a new officer comes and leads them, they expect the officer to prove himself. So they realize that this officer who has joined yesterday, he is carrying double load of 22 kilos each. I was carrying 40 kilos and two rifles, and others were carrying half of that, but still I was going ahead because I was young and fit. So they started respecting me, giving me respect. See, when you want to be respected by your group, you should be the hardest working person in that group. That is a value. That is a value. So you cannot expect respect from everybody without working. When you work quietly, your work speaks. Words don't words don't uh, actually have much of effect. Now I'd like to come to one example. Many of you students, you are all in your either degree, most of them are in your 20s or say maybe 19 or something like that. At least 50% of them must have experienced your parents leaving you to school every day on scooter or car or anything. So you fondly remember your parents. You know, all of you other students, you will be observing your parents all the time. Parents, elders, uncle, grandfather, grandmother, everybody you will be observing. And if you recall what words those they spoke to you, you may not recall even 10% of the words. Okay, 10%. But you always remember their actions. Why I'm telling you? You see, your mother or father may be leaving you by scooter at the school. What you remember consciously, either how lovingly your mother or father had made breakfast for you, put it in your bag was readied. Maybe girls, their hairdo was that hair plates were made by the mother, and all that you'll remember. And subconsciously, what you remember is that when you ride a scooter, if you are not wearing helmet, it's because when you were observing your father or mother not wearing helmet, because you thought that that is how we can do, without wearing helmet we can go. So that is also a thing which you learn. That means their actions are copied, both the good actions as well as bad actions. This is how we also imbibe values. Suppose a child grows in a cave with a bunch of robbers, till the time the child comes into the open society where somebody tells that what you are doing is wrong, he or she will think that robbing people is very, very normal. It can be done. Cutting and hitting and killing people is a very normal thing. So that is how the child grows up. These are all related to our value system. And I certainly hope that you all know now what is value system. Now, let us come back to my story. So finally, after 6 days of walking, we reached our unit in Tooting, and the last what do you call part of the journey. The last half mile is, if you search for Tooting and in Google you search Tooting hanging bridge, you will find a hanging rope bridge which was built by the PWD still there, which is the one of the longest, 100 meters, 150 meters long across the Siang River. And the river roars and flows down below, almost 50, 60 feet below. And you have to cross that. And the gap between the planks is around 30, 40 centimeters. Finally, we all crossed and entered our unit. That's how I reached my first unit. Now, let us see how again values take root in our minds. When I mentioned to you about parents, I told you good and bad things of their action you copy. Then you go to your school, you have teachers, and these teachers also add to your value system. Teacher says that nobody is my favorite in the class. So, however you perform in the examination, I may be speaking to you nicely, but if you do not perform well, I will not give you marks. So, that is part of the value system. That means if your relationship is good with a person, but both of you are in a part of the system, you should not show bias or partiality. So, most of the time in your life, what happens is that it always becomes your values and integrity versus your relationship. The dilemma comes all the time, even as adults. That is, when you when you're when you're when you're in a responsible position, you are a leader, you have to discipline your subordinates, and you tell them these are the rules. So finally you think that if I'm too disciplined and if I bring all these rules and regulations, all these people who are friends with me till now will cease to become my friends. Yes, maybe that's a reality of life, and that is also the reality of leadership. All of you, all students, all teachers will be experiencing this. That is, it is always integrity versus relationship, whereas always integrity trumps. Finally, even when relationships, simple thing, if those people with whom you are having a relationship, official relationship, I mean, they are very good people, they will understand why you took some action against them or against the system. following the right path of integrity. In any case, if they do not understand, that means they are bad. They are not having integrity, so it's not worth continuing that relationship. As simple as that. So, this is how value system embodies itself or manifests itself inside us. So, I was coming from parents to teachers. And then after teachers, your peers, that is your fellow students. You all must have seen that movie Three Idiots. In that, those three idiots, they break into the house of the principal to steal question paper and all that. All those are wrong things. But after that student phase is over, they realize whatever they did was wrong. This realization is a journey of learning. That is, even now, many of you, while staying in hostel, may be breaking the rules and going. But you are young. If the students don't do masti, who else will do? This is all part of it. But after you become, when you are given responsibility, then at that time you see that I can't behave like this anymore. So, again, coming back to value system, now peers, you have your parents, your teachers, and your peers, your fellow students. And then later, suppose you go to work somewhere, your again colleagues and bosses, your subordinates, everybody will influence your developing your value system. You see, there are two parts to it. Developing a value system, most of the places, when you like Sathya Sai University is instilling good values to you, more than 50% of those activities related to filling values inside you will be rituals. Like, for example, you all should get together. You should all dress like something that is to identify yourself. You all should be respectful towards teachers. All these are half rituals, half actual values. Are the rituals needed? They are very much needed to bring in uniformity, to having having the enjoyment of feeling oneness with all others. But what actually is the core of it? You are coming to the class and sitting is part of the ritual. But you're actually listening and activating your mind and taking some action to improve yourself is the value. So that is how it's going to come. So next is, now you may be wondering, in the topic I had mentioned that developing a personal value system and quality consciousness, how quality consciousness is related to value system. So I'll tell you, you know, suppose you imagine yourself that you are aware that you are not an organized person. Like, for example, every day you cannot get up at the same time required. Somebody has to force you, you need a clock, alarm, or something like that. Or you can do that. And when you start your day, and anything you do, anything, starting with going to your toilet, brushing your teeth, washing your face, washing your eyes, not looking at the mobile in the morning, and doing all the necessary rituals first, wearing the correct clean cloth. All these are part of your qualitative development of the mind. When you have this qualitative development of the mind, you will be stressless. Nobody will be pointing you out that there is some dirt on your dress. Nobody will point out that your mouth is smelling, and nobody will point out that your shoes is dirty, your chappal is dirty. Nobody will point out that you have not done your homework. Nobody will point out. So your whole day will be happy. So quality and value system are not only indirectly but directly related. So bringing quality in everything. Can you imagine a person? Let us assume that an elderly person who works in an office or a factory, he behaves in a very uncouth manner at home. That is, he in the night he drinks, comes back home, abuses his family members, abuses his children, gets up in the morning, goes to the office, and he is a boss in the office. Do you think both are not related? That means not having quality in personal life. And do you think that you will be able to have a quality life in your workplace? Absolutely not. It will come out sometime. If you are living a dark life in your personal life, and in your office, you try to prove to everybody that you are the cleanest person around and you produce high quality result, it's only a matter of time that the equilibrium will break and you'll be exposed. So quality consciousness is, by definition, the practice of being aware and taking actions to ensure the quality of a product or service. Quality consciousness also encourages employees to take pride in their work, ensuring that they deliver the best possible products and services. So I'd like to give you some details. You see, you all must have heard about that quality system standard in all organizations, including educational institutions, ISO 9000 and ISO International Standards Organization. You know what it says? ISO certification is a system standard, which means when you enter a school or a college or a factory, they say that this place is having all the necessary conditions to produce good quality students. It never says that all the students coming out from this college are good students. Never. Do good quality students, because you give all the necessary conditions for the students to be the best. But how they make use personally of those conditions and become the best is individual. That is in your hands. That is what is system standard. So that is what is ISO in all its facets. Now, I will move on to some other things. Then after in the army, I started working in army aviation. And in army aviation, the importance for quality is very, very high. Nothing is left unattended. No stone is left unturned. For everything, there has to be records. Therefore, everything there has to be the highest possible quality of engagement. So, what happened in uh, this place, Jhansi? I was there in 1995. In 1995, what happened was that we had a, a helicopter engine servicing unit. In that engine servicing unit, the helicopter turbine, you know, rotates at a speed of 33,500 RPM, that is rotations per minute. It rotates 33,500 minutes, rotations per minute. So I was an aeronautical engineer, and it's my job to observe whether every engine is okay or not. I was training myself. By then, I was already 3 years old in the aviation. The acceptable standards for flying of a helicopter is that the engine RPM should be between 33,400 to 33,600. That is, 500 is in the middle, so it can rotate. But over a period of time, I felt that 200 gap, that is the allowance within which it has to work, I should not aim for it. So I had 15 helicopters which I was taking care of. I developed a system in which we set the engine RPM. Engine RPM could be set with a computerized tool. At that time, computers were not there. It was an electronic tool. So in 1995. So with the help of electronic tool, I told my technicians, nobody will accept anything below 33,500 RPM or above 33,500 RPM. It has to be exact. There were dials and meters which could show. So finally, after trying for 6 months, we could achieve standard. We were appreciated for that. None of our helicopter was working within the tolerance limits. It was exactly 33,500 and we were all appreciated for that. Now, I'll tell you how it comes. You know, all these quality standards, quality ISO 9000 and Six Sigma and all these quality standards, they make a person to meet a standard. Like, for example, if your teacher or school says, if you score 60%, you're pass. So you'll go to the next class, don't worry. So what you will aim for, suppose a person who is afraid of facing examination, he or she will aim for getting 60%. And then afterwards, if something comes above it, it's best of luck. That is called compliance culture. See, the words like quality, values, and culture are all interlinked. Culture means, I mentioned to you, when you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you go to toilet, you wear your dress, and you study for going to the school and come back. You imagine one person doing it. You imagine the whole society doing it. And coming night, it builds a culture. It builds like-minded people to come together and build a great organization. That is how great organizations are built. So when cultures are built like that, quality is also built into your mind. Everybody starts thinking about quality and great organizations start producing great products and services. So this is how best societies are made. So coming back to this quality consciousness, when you develop quality consciousness, what happens is that your stress will reduce drastically. Nobody will point out you, this is wrong with you, that is wrong with you. Now I'll come to the finer point of the difference between compliance culture and quality consciousness. You imagine, suppose you're all doing yoga, you all must be doing yoga. Your yoga teacher says in a group that Surya Namaskara, 13 positions. Most of the time, everybody will be looking here and there what he is doing, she is doing, and all that. Like that, you shift your leg, you shift your hand, and all that. You imagine, you spend 1 hour time in your private time. You learn the perfect way to do that yogasana or the set of asanas, as your teacher has told. And when you go there without anybody looking at you, without anybody expecting you, you will do everything correctly. Correctly means perfectly. That is quality consciousness. You imagine everybody doing yoga in that class, doing the same thing like you, doing self-learning, doing perfectly without anybody correcting them or approving them. That builds the quality culture. That is what is quality culture. So culture, quality, values related. So the same way you start thinking about it. Now I did yoga perfectly. Why can't I do my studies perfectly? Next comes the most important thing in life. This is the last topic I'm taking. The biggest thing in life which affects us, brings us a lot of stress, is our behavior with people. Is the way we interact with others and the others interact with you. You imagine everything is told to you. Everything, all information is given to you. But how much you absorb depends on you. If you are completely attentive, and you learn how to behave with people and do it nicely, for the entire life, the stress will be reduced. So quality, developing a good, being part of a good culture like the Sathya Sai culture, and having a personal value system will personal value system will improve your life drastically, and you should give the highest importance to it. There may be some CEOs among you. There may be huge startups owner among you who will discover yourself later. There may be great scientists among you. There may be great sportsmen, sportswomen among you. And there may be great actors among you. All of this can be discovered when you bring quality, when you bring values, when you are a part of culture. Now, I'll come to the last part of my talk, that is your your life and our life. I am 1.5 generations elder to you. I'm 59 years old. And most of your teachers will be around 10, 15 years, maybe three-fourth of a generation elder to you. So during my time, I was never bombarded with too much information on the mobile phone all the time, 24/7. Your teachers started getting bombarded just about 10 years earlier. And you, since you were in high school, you have been bombarded with so much information. For every small problem, your mobile will give you 100 solutions. And for every small doubt, you will get 50 solutions. And for earlier you had only your mother, father, teacher to guide you. Now you are having 1000 aunties on the Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube advising you how to do something correctly as they think it as correct, or uncles also to guiding you. So you get confused. So you don't know what is right, what is wrong. And somebody who is a professional robber can influence you, can influence you that robbing is the greatest of the professions. So this is how you are in a very, very dangerous times. Of course, lots of good things have happened because of internet. Huge things have happened. The entire medical field has been revolutionized by internet. The entire field of education has been revolutionized, but bad things also happen because people who use it need to be responsible enough to know how to use the internet and take only good things from it and leave the bad things. And it is very difficult for you to discern what is bad, what is, so you need to learn it by experimental. 80% plus, it is on statistics, 80% plus of the drug addicts of this world, how they became drug addicts? They just got curious. It is human tendency to be curious, that I'll just see how it feels, and then they become addicts. That is how it is done. So what is the origin? Internet. After the internet came, the growth of drug addicts has increased by over 1000% everywhere. It's because somebody tells that how it feels, and you feel that why can't I experience once? Something like that. Okay. So you, more than anybody, our generation or the next one, your teachers need to be more careful about what you learn and adapt to yourself from the internet through your mobile or your laptop than what to leave out. Keep asking. There are people to guide you. Your teachers are there. Your elder students are there. They'll guide you. Now, I'll be showing you some photographs. I'll be uploading some photographs from my army life. I'll just keep explaining that. The last 15 minutes I've kept for that. Earlier, he used to, 24, 50 years earlier, he used to say, all strategy thought before will come to a naught when you finally face the enemy, Sun Tzu. That is, you may plan for everything in a war or a battle. But when the enemy comes in your face, you don't know what is his or her strategy. You have to make all your strategy anew. Leader, you, makes new strategy on his feet. I spent roughly about 4.5 years at all these places. You can see this place. This is the map of Jammu and Kashmir. This at number one, this is Srinagar, and number two is the Dras. This is Srinagar, this is Dras, and this is Kargil. Dras is the second coldest place in the world, and Kargil is located slightly lower than Dras. It is at 8,000 feet. And there is a place called Kalsi here between Dras, between Kargil and Leh. Khalsi, where after I spent during the Kargil war, I spent most of the time here, and then in Kargil, and later I moved to Khalsi, and then reached via Leh. I went to Siachen Glacier. I commanded a unit in Siachen Glacier, and briefly, I'd like to tell you, in Siachen Glacier, this is the glacier which is present. Half of it faces China, this is Aksai Chin, and half of it faces Pakistan occupied Kashmir. And in this place, there are roughly about 69 Indian high altitude posts in all these high hills. They are located at 22,000 feet to above mean sea level to 19,000 feet. And all these places, the ammunition and medicines, everything is taken by snowmobiles. And we used to have roughly about, I'll show the photo of a snowmobile. I used to ride it. We used to have about 55 snowmobiles. What happened was that during that time, Bofors scandal was going on, and the government banned the import of any spare parts for those snowmobiles because Bofors company acquired that company, that is Bombardier company also. So they were not having spares. All the snowmobiles came down for a single part. So I devised a part using scooter spares and made all of them work again. So that was for which I got the award. And these are the places we were there. And now coming to uh, Kargil conflict ground situation in July 1999 was Pakistani regulars and militants being flushed out of Kargil sector, defenses being fortified. The new 14 Corps was being raised in Leh. Corps is a large army organization. Army aviation under enormous workload we were rebuilding all our high altitude posts. I was in army aviation. We were in advanced winter stocking, in Kashmir. All the roads and access points to very high altitudes closed for 5 months from late November to December to April. So in the remaining months, we stock all the food and dried vegetables and everything by taking them by helicopters, flights, and taking it and depositing everywhere. So army aviation is very much a part of it. And next one is my role was to keep the helicopters flying, lead, train, and motivate my subordinates, administration, and man management. This was my place in Batinda in Punjab, before Kargil, I was here. And then this was my place of living. You can see the tent here. In Rajasthan in 2002, during Aap Parakram, after the parliament attack happened, and this me and my colleague, see, this is me, and this is my friend and lady officer, one Vandana Sharma. She is a senior vice president in a corporate firm now. This is then Captain Vikram Singh. Later he joined the NSG, became a para commando. This is Lieutenant Anbalagan. And this is when I visited, this is me visiting Rajasthan when we were there in those tents. There is a place called Badriya near Pokhran. In the near Pokhran, there is a place called Ramdevra that is right outside the Pokhran ranges. There is a sadhu who has built an underground library of 2 acres in this place. I went to see. This place is 60 feet below ground. And this is a view from Gulmarg. I had gone to rescue a stranded helicopter in Gulmarg. So this is the place I took. You must be wondering why good photos are not there. At that time, I was having a 350 rupees worth Hong Kong manufactured camera, and that is the only thing, no internet, nothing. So this is all I could retain. There is no more photos left with me. This is a place called, this is Kargil. This is the Suru River. We used to stay in the helipad. It is on the right side of this photo during Kargil operations. And we took the brunt of lot of army shelling by Pakistan. And then this is a place called Mulbek. Mulbek is between Kargil and Khalsi, where I used to stay. This place is having a 2000-year-old Buddha idol, which is 30 feet tall. This is a photo which I took from our helicopter. This is a Mulbek village. It is a Buddhist village, and you all would have heard about Tiger Hill. This is the Tiger Hill. This is during the summer, and we provided observation and casualty evacuation for that. And Tiger Hill in winter. In winter, the same hill becomes like this, and located at 5122 meter. So Indian Army captured this, and this bottom place is called Moonscape. Due to wind erosion, the land has developed a lot of crannies and crevices. So it is due to high winds. And this, we were rescuing a helicopter ahead of Gulmarg, called a place called Jamiawali Gali. And in this place, this helicopter had engine failure. So we went there and then put a different engine, brought it back. So this is a Tiger Hill in winter. This Tiger Hill in winter, in winter it becomes minus 39 degrees centigrade, and this is the Indus Valley. And can you imagine this? This is the Indus River which flows towards Pakistan occupied Kashmir. The whole thing gets frozen for nearly 4 months. I used to go for long walks on the river when it is frozen. So this is the advanced winter stocking. If you expand this photo and look, there are small dots visible on this road. These are all the truck columns moving to stock all the winter. This is a photo taken from helicopter. We were actually giving fire cover for this truck column. So from May to September, roughly 11,200 truckloads of essential material reaches from Jammu to Leh before the roads close for the winter. And this is sunset at Khalsi. And I just took a photo. This is the Indus River and this sunset happening. And it's fog in the morning, sunrise. And this is the helicopter which we used to go do. It is a French helicopter called Alouette 3B. This is the anti-aircraft gun which we have in all the posts. Again, Indus River. This is the place where we used to work most of the time. And this is on Themis Monastery, which is located. This Buddha idol is 60 feet tall. We went around that before going to Leh one day. And this is the Thiksay Monastery. In this Thiksay Monastery, you need to climb from this place. There are no proper steps. Only steps are there from one building to another. From bottom, you need to climb. There is one more monastery. This is a monastery which is almost 1300 years old. Which you can see this mountain path. From this mountain path, they lower from this place. It doesn't have any path to go there. It is actually built this whole inside the hill. There is a cave and the monastery is located inside that. They lower a big basket which is mounted on chains. You have to get into that and they'll pull you up. Otherwise, you have to climb all over this place, go from back and then come here and enter. So this is the Padam Valley. It is a Padam Valley which boasts of having the pure Aryans in this place where people speak Sanskrit. Still they are there. There is a village called Gacham. We went there. There are a lot many European researchers residing there to learn Sanskrit from the original people who actually spoke Sanskrit. And this is me. Sitting next to Indus River. You remember? Can you see this small ropeway and a basket which is there? We built it for the villagers to cross the river. This is the river in Spate in the month of May when the snow smelt. So this is a place called Nimu. There is a confluence of two rivers, Padam River and Indus River. This place has been filmed as the last scene in the Three Idiots movie. So the Nubra Valley, I went to a new role. So this is how the road will be. And there is a place called Magnetic Hill where this hill has got magnetic powers. This is located between Kalsi and Leh, where if you come by vehicle, the vehicle, you switch it off, the vehicle is pulled by the magnet. It Here you need more power to come up this place. Standing here, if I park it here, engine off, the hill will start pulling the vehicle. So this is road to Leh as seen from Kardungla, the highest motorable road. And this is just a sticker, the highest battlefield where I spent about 1 year, where great courage and fortitude is the norm. Fortitude means enduring patience. So this is again the same map which I told you. And so this is my unit. I am leading this unit, army unit, in the desert. And this is me standing on frozen river in the Nubra Valley, where I commanded another unit in a place called Coxer. And this is the mouth of the Siachen Glacier. This is all actually dirty ice. It keeps on falling into this river and becomes the Nubra River. Behind is the Siachen Glacier. This is actually the glacier mouth. So this is again the glacier mouth. So this is me and my colleague. There is a Siachen battle school at a Siachen base camp where I spent most of my time, 9-10 months, where they teach you how to use mountain equipment, how to climb using pythons and icy walls, how to climb all this. Anybody who comes here has to learn it for a week and then pass an examination, and then only they are allowed to stay or go up. So this is a small Shiva temple built in a cave in the Siachen base camp. And this is the glorious start of another day. This is how the surroundings look in Siachen base camp. So life at Siachen base camp is endless winters. Day temperature -22 degrees centigrade to -6 may lead to frostbite, chilblains, bronchitis if not covered properly, health problems, high altitude edema, breathlessness, dry air leading to skin problems, and eyesight problems due to, I got my chashma, that is my spectacles, because of watching too much glare in the snow. It is very, very bright. You need to keep on closing your eyes. It becomes very difficult. So we used to play, how we used to lead our life. We used to play volleyball matches. I used to go for 12-kilometer runs at 13,600 feet, and started, our lungs become bigger. We start breathing more air. Our blood starts retaining more oxygen because the oxygen content in the air is only 60% of what it is at the sea level. So my hemoglobin count went to 17.8. So then later I had to come down because doctors warned me that it may lead to clots. So read a lot of books. In fact, I started reading management books because some good soul had left some management books in Siachen Glacier. So this is the Nubra Valley, where this all across, all along the 130 kilometers long. And then the river joins the Shyok River. This is another photo of the same. This side, left side, is the Pakistan occupied Kashmir. And before the start of an avalanche, these clouds, small fume like the smoke like thing, there's actually a snow avalanche starting here. So this is how the road looks in the winter. And this is an avalanche in progress. The snow is falling down. It will come here, and it may engulf everything, close buildings, everything. This is again, we got stuck in a landslide when going. So this is a Nubra River again. And this is a bridge built across the Nubra River. And it is it's a vehicle crossing bridge. And a patrol briefing post. In a post, this place is with the pointers. If you look through these points, you can see the opposing Pakistani posts all across, spread across all these hills. And this is a winter patrol in progress. They are going for a patrolling in the hills. This happens all the time. This is how we used to live, in tents and underground caves in Siachen base camp. So special moments. I think we are running out of time. We made generators out of scrap and started running it, producing more electricity than ever in Siachen base camp. That's the story. This is the Bofors gun. And this is our enjoying after rescuing a mountain gun, Bofors gun, which had fallen from the Kardungla Pass. So this is how it looks from Kardungla Pass down below. It is a place called North Pulu. And accident rescue at Kardungla. One civilian vehicle with 25 passengers fell down. We all went there to rescue it. Sometime 20 people died in that, and we could save only about 7 people. So this is me. I going out for a walk in the winter. And this Shiok River. This is moonscape near Kargil. This landscape has become wind eroded. And this is the snowmobile I was speaking about. I used to ride around like this, but I couldn't get any photographs, so I took a stock photo. Thank you so much for providing this opportunity. And I stop here. And in case you have time, you ask questions, I'll answer. Otherwise, I am concluding this session here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring talk. Your words really resonated the proverb, actions speak louder than the words. And it is very inspiring to see you speaking with us. Your words reminded us how crucial it is to build a stronger foundation based on integrity, responsibility, and commitment towards excellence. The insights you have shared will surely encourage us to reflect, grow, and lead more meaningful lives. Let me take this opportunity to briefly tell about our institution. We have 28 campuses and a university in South India, plus a school in Nigeria, offering free education over 3,600 children. And our vision is to provide free of cost quality higher education of global standards of excellence based on Indian ethos and contribute individuals of competent hands, brilliant heads, and compassionate heart for the universal welfare. With your words, I would like to share, it is like-minded people coming together, sharing the same destiny with different journeys. While your online session was very enlightening, we would be even more honored to hear you in person. We are eagerly looking forward to see you here, sir.
Thank you so much, Madam Vinila. It was my pleasure to spend time with you. I'll take your leave.
We shall end this session with Shanti Mantras. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, sir.